Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so I have Ben Golden on the line. He's founder and CEO over at Golden Tax Relief. Ben, welcome to the show.
I really appreciate you having me today, Adam.
Oh, man, Ben. So I'm excited about today's topic. So we're going to get into IRS debt relief. Maybe you're gonna dispel some of those myths out there and give us some good content because there's some listeners out there that want to know. So I want to get into that. But before we do, let's start a little bit more with what you're doing over at Golden Tax Relief overall. Tell us a little bit more about your firm, please.
So our goal is to help people with IRS problems and troubles, people that have had problems trying to get some type of resolution in the past. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we give you peace of mind and we protect you, number one. Those are our goals, to make sure that clients are well taken care of and the IRS just doesn't get your stuff.
Oh, it's well put, I think it's a great transition into our overall topic of IRS debt relief. So I know, a lot of myths out there. There's different types of companies out there saying they could do one thing. Other companies are saying they could do another. I mean, it's kind of hard, in my opinion, for the consumer to know, like, who are the people they should be trusting or what route they should go. So where do you want to start with this topic? Because it's a big deal.
I love where you went with this because there are a lot of companies out there that don't do it the right way. You need to make sure you do your due diligence. So picking the right firm, picking the right person to work with, someone that's specialized in the field. If you owe money to the IRS, it's not only your accountant or your CPA or your tax preparer that you need to go to. It's someone that's more specialized in a field. I tell people, if you have a heart problem, you don't want to go to a general surgeon. You want to go to a cardiologist. So if you really think about it, we at Golden Tax Relief, we're the cardiologists in order to help you. We specialize specifically with IRS problems.
That's great. And so what is a typical, because at the end of this, by the way, Ben, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave your website or social media, phone numbers, or all of the above so that the right types of individuals can connect with you and your team. But what is typically the right fit in terms of client that's usually a good fit for Golden Tax Relief?
So if you are currently under audit, have several years of unfiled tax returns, if the IRS has already came and put a garnishment on your Social Security or your W-2 wage, levied a bank account, or lastly, if you owe more than $10,000 to $15,000 to the IRS, those are sort of our qualifications to work with us. In order to qualify to work with us, we also go through some of our cornerstones to see, do you qualify to work with us or not? And those are really important with us because, we really feel like, or whomever it is that you work with, this is going to be a long process. Normally you don't get in IRS problems overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. So if somebody says, yeah, we can fix this and it's only going to take 30 days, normally it's going to take quite a bit longer than that, especially with the government problems that the problems that the government has had lately, being closed and all. So, I would say that you want to make sure that the firms that you pick or whomever it is that you go with, you want to make sure that they are qualified to work with you, and it's not too good to be true, you know?
No, it's great, and I'm glad you brought up the time thing, because the time thing's a big deal, and I agree with you. Like you didn't get into like the whatever you're into in 30 days. So to be able to get out of it, especially working with the government, I don't care if right now we're recording this in September going into October 2020. So we're in the middle of the whole COVID thing and all that pandemic, and so government obviously isn't working to its full optimal capacity. But that being said, like you said, is not always a quick process. Can you give us an idea? Because I feel like the first thing that keeps people from going down this route is obviously just not knowing the right type of company. The second thing might be a fear of like what the process looks like and just that not getting started. Can you just kind of maybe alleviate some of that fear to tell people kind of what that looks like, the process?
You know, procrastinators or people that put things off over a long period of time, they are a key person that we want to work with, because we really believe in something that a lot of others may not agree with, is accountability. You have to be held accountable to make sure that act happens. And that's one of the things that whomever you work with, you need to make sure that they're going to hold you accountable, and action happens all the time. If action isn't continually happening, then the IRS is just going to sit back on their laurels, and the next thing you know, 4, 5, 6 months go by and nothing has been done. You want to make sure that action happens rapidly and you're protected, because if you're not protected, the IRS can always come and take up to 70% of your W-2 wage. And who can live with that much money being taken from you, right?
No, I think that's a great point, and a great. I love that you say so. You might want to. Your heading is procrastinators wanted. We can help. I'm in.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the goal is to help that person move forward, and it can be scary to move forward because you don't know what to expect. You know, you're really in uncharted territory, and our goal on every single case is to be not only the head coach, but also the quarterback. The great thing about us is we know the moves or the positions that the IRS is going to move into based off of where you are and based off of what the IRS is trying to do. So, to use the football as an analogy, if you're a quarterback and you see the defense move into a certain position, you know to do an audible or to make a move, and that way you can use technical ability to maneuver and be proactive and plan where you want to go, as opposed to the IRS doing what they want to,
I think it's a big deal, and I do know, and I want to build out that analogy a little bit further. Can you talk a little bit more about the team aspect of this? Because you're not trying to replace somebody's CPA or their tax advisor. Like, you're just handling a very niche area. So can you talk a little bit more about that concept of teamwork and what that looks like? Because that's the other part. Is I'm like, some people think, I got a CPA, or we'll work on this when we get to it. But it's like, no, you need you're like special teams coming out. Like, you don't want to. Who's gonna do this work? It's very specialized. So talk a little bit more about the team component.
So we put a very different process into place, and that process that we put into place really shines a light on our team. We only focus on helping the IRS. I do not do tax returns for Joe Q Public, and we're not going to. That's not what we do. We don't do bookkeeping. We don't do payroll taxes or payroll work. Our focus, we're not here to replace anyone. We're here to add. We're here to add to you. It's just like, there again, if you're hurt and you need to go to a cardiologist, well, you don't stop going to your foot doctor just because you go to a cardiologist. Same thought. You're not going to stop going to your CPA just because you're now going to come to us. Because honestly, after we help you and we get a successful outcome, then you're going to go back to your CPA and they're going to continue to help you.
Yeah, I was going to say too, and it seems like the CPAs of the world and the bookkeepers and the tax accountants, it seems to me like those would be like awesome. I know there's some listening right now. Awesome referral partners for you. It just seems like they're not suited for that, and I'm sure that you do a lot of business with them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, up until now, we've done some marketing, but up until now, we are almost 100% referral, and we get referrals from CPAs, enrolled agents, tax attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys. I mean, because our singular focus is on helping you with IRS problems, they feel very comfortable to come to someone like us to help them out of that one problem.
No, that's awesome. So, Ben, if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more about Golden Tax Relief or to connect with you and your firm, because either they have some IRS things they want checked out, or maybe they are looking to refer some business because they're a CPA and they got somebody that knocked in their door, a new client, and they're like, haven't done something in a while, and they're like, hey, I need a little bit of help. This is going to take a team, and we don't specialize in that. What's the best way for people to reach out?
Yeah, sure. They can either call us at 844-229-8936. I'd love for them to go to our website, www.goldentaxrelief.com. Check us out, find out a little bit more about us, about how we work, and then at any point they can call us and get an appointment, or they can schedule an appointment right there on the website.
Perfect. Well, Ben, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about the great work you're doing over at Golden Tax Relief and dispelling some of those myths surrounding IRS debt relief and what it looks like and what working with a reputable company should look like. So appreciate that. I want to leave that website one more time so people can check that out, because maybe they're looking for their pen or something else and they didn't quite get it the first time. Let's leave that website one more time, please.
Sure. It's www.goldentaxrelief.com.
Perfect. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Ben, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me today, Adam.